Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Noha Shakir, and I am the coordinator of the WIN coaching program. I would like to welcome you all to this Women Informal Networks interactive session on creating a more abundant and balanced life in 2023. For us in WIN, January has been a very exciting and motivating month because we launched the coaching program for WIN, introducing 9 coaches who comes from different backgrounds, and they have different type of experiences and focus areas. And I would like to highlight for those who did not attend the previous session that the aim of this program is to basically support all members in the WIN network, in WIN, to basically connect with credible coaches who are there to support whoever is interested in basically moving from where they are now to where they want to be. And today will be the start of our, today actually the first session of a series of coaching events that we have planned for all through the year. And these interactive sessions will be actually a very good opportunity for every one of us to basically experience life coaching and learn and connect. And with us today, I have the pleasure to introduce and welcome one of our own WIN coaches who will be facilitating this inspiring interactive coaching session. This is Shanta, Naimi. So I'll give you some short summary about Shanta. Shanta is an internationally certified Korean business coach who is quite passionate about supporting women in pursuing and fulfilling the work they love, while honoring other priorities in their life and achieving the right work-life balance. Shanta has helped women all over the world who have been feeling lost and professionally desperately longing for a career transition to landing their dream jobs, and in some other cases to even start their own businesses. Shanta is trained with CTI, globally recognized as one of the most renowned professional coach training and certification program in the industry, and she has been ranked as one of the top in Rome. Shanta has got over 15 years of experience in human resources, in recruiting, organizational change, and business development, in working in the private sectors, government, and the UN agencies. So I will not take much time. I would like you to take a deep breath and let's open up our hearts and be ready to share our thoughts and be inspired. So Shanta, welcome, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Nuha, for that welcome. It's really lovely to be here with you all today. I've been looking forward to this workshop. So just to give you a little overview of today's session, you're going to learn a framework that you can use for the rest of your life so that you can assess where you are at presently and where you would like to go in the future. And also to just get a sense of where you might be falling behind and where you might want to prioritize and lean into more. Now, today's workshop, I'm not going to be talking and presenting the whole time. That's not what coaching is about. So I'd really like you to experience various coaching tools and techniques. And so it's going to be very interactive. So thank you, everybody who's turned on their video. I think it's great to create an atmosphere of us really being present together and holding that space as a community as we connect from all parts of the globe. And one thing that I also want to encourage you to do is to really get present and participate, because that will enable you to really benefit from this workshop, and also for the other participants, your colleagues, to get out of it as much as possible. So we're going to talk about real life topics today. So I want to us to agree together to really create a safe space where we can feel comfortable to open up and perhaps be vulnerable as well. Okay, so do we all agree to doing that? Does that sound good? Give me a thumbs up. Sounds good? Okay, so I know we're connecting from all different time zones. Maybe some of us have wrapped up the end of the day, or some of us are still waking up. So let's just take a moment to get present, because sometimes we might be present physically, or in this case, virtually, but mentally we're not present yet, okay? So let's just take a moment to close our eyes and just place your feet firmly on the ground and take a deep breath in and a big sigh out. And really just take a moment to connect with your body, really ground yourself in this moment. Let go of whatever has happened today and before this session, as well as all the to-do lists that might be swirling around your mind. Give yourself full permission to gift yourself this special moment for deep reflection and exploration. So, one last deep breath, inhaling the excitement and letting go anything we need to get rid of to really get present. Okay, you can open your eyes. Okay, so I hope you're feeling more present now. And let's dive into today's topic, which is how to create more balance and abundance in 2023. Now, we all lead such busy lives, and we may feel like we're lacking in a certain area, or perhaps we're compromising at the cost of our health or our sanity or our joy. And so it's possible that it can have an adverse effect on other areas of our life. So for example, if our friendships or our health deteriorates, it's likely that that would have a negative impact on our work performance or perhaps our other relationships. Now, sometimes we can't put a finger on what exactly is out of balance, but as women, we have this strong intuition and we can feel it. Okay, so what I'd like to ask you to enter in the chat box now is, how do you know when you're feeling out of balance? Quickly share with the group. And let's see, what are some of the insights? How do you know when you're feeling out of balance? Easily triggered. Body tells me I'm getting irritable and impatient, low energy levels, crying, irritable. So it sounds like, there's a lot of emotional cues that come up. Feeling suffocated, feeling empty, even on a physical level, it manifests. When I'm dissatisfied with my work. Thank you. So there's so many different ways it can show up. Lack of sleep, there we go. And it's important for us to understand what are some of these hints that we can get when we're out of balance and we need to readjust. Now, just a few points that I'd like us to keep in mind before we dive into today's workshop. And that is, first of all, there's no 100% perfect balance. Okay, let's just start right there. But we can strive for greater balance. Okay, in our lives, we want to always make sure that we're progressing and improving. So one way to do that that's really helpful is for us to assess, are we moving closer to balance or are we moving further away from it? The second thing that I want to highlight is that we are all beautifully unique, okay? And what does that mean? It means that balance can look very different for each and every one of us, what a balanced and abundant life looks like. The third thing is that our priorities are all so different, and they also change with time. So at various points of our lives, we might have different areas that are more important to us than others. And it's really important for us to honor that and where we are at. For example, if we're really focusing on building our career or perhaps on focusing on our family, it's possible that naturally other parts of our life will not receive as much attention. Now, what's really important is that we are consciously choosing for that to be the case. Because sometimes we are just operating on autopilot and things just, our attention goes in so many different places. So what we really want to be mindful of is making these decisions intentional. Which leads me to my next point, which is how we prioritize things and our choices should ideally be a reflection of our values. Okay, so what do I mean by that? For example, you want to settle down and have more stability in your life. Okay, and then at the same time, you are busy applying for jobs that require you to travel 50% of the time, and your work is based on commission, and there's this instability. So there's this disalignment between what is important to you, what you value, and the actions that you're taking. Okay, so I want to ask the group another question. At the moment, and it it may not necessarily be in line with your values, but it's helpful to get that insight. What is your attention going towards at the moment? What are you prioritizing at this moment in your life? Share in the chat box. Work, career, self-development, family, career, self-care. Wow, Nadia, ambitious. Love it. Work and self-development. Okay, so as we're like reflecting on some of the areas that we're prioritizing, I want to invite you to think about, are these focus areas coming from a place of should or what we think we need to do, or is it really connecting with our values and the truth of what is really important to us? So it's really about creating this holistic approach to attaining fulfillment. So how do we do that? Today, we're going to shine a spotlight on exactly what may be out of sync for you. And awareness, as always, is the first and most crucial step of doing that. And that's a way for us to really take our control back and set our inner balance straight. So what I'd like to share with you today is a tool that's called the Wheel of Life, or perhaps you may have heard it referred to as the Life Mastery Circle. Is anyone familiar with this? Sure. Yes, Marianne, our coach. I'm happy that you're familiar. And we say Martina. Okay, wonderful. So it's a really great way for you to get everything to do with your life down on one piece of paper. And it provides a helicopter view of how content you are with the different areas of your life. And perhaps how you want this view to look different going forward into the future. Now, I know that Martina, Marianne, you guys are familiar with this tool, and I just want to emphasize that this is a snapshot in time. So even if you've done it previously, let's say a few months ago or a few years ago, it's very likely that your current wheel is going to look quite different. So how do we do it? I'm going to share my screen. And for those of you who don't have a piece of paper and a pen yet, please get that ready so that we can do the exercise. So please draw a circle, okay? And I'd like you to divide it first into 4. So put a cross and then an X to make it, basically it's like a pizza with 8 slices. Okay, so this is really going to help us identify different priorities and key areas that may require growth so that you can set more meaningful goals based on what's most important to you. Now, moving on, I want you to label the different slices of the pizza according to what you see on the screen. Okay, so we have career. It can be career or business, depending on whether you're working for yourself or not, family and friends, significant other, romance. I also like to include self-love here because maybe we're happy and single, fun and recreation, health, money and personal growth, and lastly, physical environment. Okay, so you can also think of these 8 slices as 8 spokes of a wheel that represent the different areas of your life. And for everyone, you know, these different areas could be slightly different, but those 8 that you see now are generally quite universal. So the next thing I'd like you to do is to draw like almost like a little ruler that's going to help you estimate where you're at on this wheel. So draw it from 0 at the center all the way out to 10. And I'm going to explain each of these areas in a little bit more detail. 0 would represent not being content or satisfied at all. And 10 means you're feeling really satisfied, really fulfilled in that particular area of your life. Now, before we jump into the exercise, I want to highlight a few things. The goal here, it's not a competition. The goal is not for us to rank everything at 10. You know, that's also not realistic. I haven't come across anybody who's ranked 10 in every area of their life. It's really an accurate reflection at this point in time. And what you're experiencing may be very different to what your other colleagues on this call are experiencing, both positive and negative. So I invite you to really look, check in with yourself and look on the inside of how content or satisfied you are based on your perception and not the perception of others. Because this is for you. And just to also highlight, you're not expected to show your wheel to the whole group. It's really a personal tool for yourself. So you might be at a 1 or a 2 in a certain area. And by being really honest with yourself, you're then able to, you know, create changes so that you can improve that area. Now, let's move on to start ranking the areas. Now, I'm going to go through them one by one, and I'd like you to place a dot roughly where it would be within the circle and write the number, okay? So personal growth. Now that includes self-development or learning. It represents the time you spend towards working towards your goals. So just mark that now on the circle. Your physical environment, that has to do with where you live, maybe your home environment. How satisfied are you currently with your physical environment? Then we also have career, as I mentioned, that can be related to your work or your business. And then family and friends is an area that sometimes people like to divide in 2, depending, you know, maybe things are going really well with your family, but you know, there's some areas to improve when it comes to friends. So it's up to you if you want to divide that. And then we have significant other, romance, or as I mentioned, self-love. And then fun and recreation. So what you do in your free time in terms of sports or hobbies, things that you do for creativity and enjoyment? How satisfied are you? Yes, Helen.
Yes, thank you, Shanta. Could you explain better physical environment means?
Physical environment, yeah. So that has to do with, let's say, the city or the country that you live in currently. How happy are you with that situation? Or perhaps your apartment or your home. Our physical environment has a real effect on our well-being and our sense of happiness. So that's what I mean. Is that more clear? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, thanks.
Okay. Then we have health. And again, health, this embodies your physical health, your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health. And if you see fit, you might want to divide it into two. If, let's say, your physical health you feel is really good, but your emotional and mental health is something you want to improve. And then we have money. So how satisfied are you with your current financial situation? Okay, I'm just going to give another minute. Looks like most people are done. I'm going to move on to the next slide. Now we're going to see, what does our wheel look like? So I'd like you to connect the different dots on your wheel. And this helps us get a snapshot of, at present, how is our wheel of life looking? And, when it comes to this part of the exercise, sometimes people say, what's better? Is it better to have everything at a 6 or, like really like excelling in certain areas and having them at a 10 and then others like super low? And there really isn't a right answer because, as we mentioned, we discussed earlier, the right balance can look different for every person depending on what they're prioritizing at that point in their life. It's really just about whether it aligns well with your values, your passions, your priorities, and your goals. Okay. Okay, now I'd like us to unpack this exercise together using Mentimeter. So I'm going to copy and paste the link in the chat box. But you guys can also go to www.menti.com. And then I can give you the password as well. Is everybody done, by the way? Okay, perfect. All right. So here is www.menti.com, and that is the code 52211143. And I'm also going to, it allows me to paste the link in the chat box. So you can just open that up. Everybody managed to get in? You can, do it from your mobile device or on the computer. Right. So the first, I just want to also highlight, this is an anonymous tool, so feel free to be brutally honest. It's just a fun way for us to unpack and reflect together. So if this wheel was the wheel of your car, what kind of ride would you have? Smooth, a bit wobbly, super bumpy, not getting anywhere? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so which two areas of your life do you want to acknowledge and celebrate? So, in coaching, something that we do is take the client back to the present moment, because we're often focusing on the next milestone and what we have to do. And it's really helpful for us to just pause and celebrate. What is it that we're doing well? What are we really being intentional about in our lives that we want to honor and celebrate? And you can highlight the top 2 areas. Interesting. So we have personal growth and career. Career seems to get majority of the votes, followed by significant other. But as you can see from the graph, it's distributed so widely among the group. Again, because we're also unique and different. Okay, I'm going to move on now. Oh, it looks like some people are still busy. Okay, oops. So, which 2 areas do you feel you need to improve most? You can't see the results side? No? Oh, wow. Okay, give me a second. Okay, thank you for pointing that out. Okay, so which 2 areas do you need to improve most? So this is where you'd really like to increase your score because it's contributing to an imbalance or a dissatisfaction. And it's an opportunity for you to prioritize so that you can have a more positive impact on your life overall. Interesting. So we have fun and recreation by majority, which is something we often put on the back burner, but can infuse us with so much joy and energize us and almost have a ripple effect on different areas of our life. Very interesting. Is there anybody else that's going to complete before I move on? Okay. So what is the negative impact of you not changing this area of your life? Okay, in a single word. So what is the cost of you not changing this area by you keeping things the way they are presently? Feel free to type out the words and let's see what's coming up. Burnout, frustration, disappointment, uncertainty, disappointment again, codependence, dissatisfaction, sickness, so an impact on our health, boredom. So you can see the words that pop up more big are the ones that are coming up more from the group. Unhappiness. So it's helpful to reflect on, what is this costing me, so that it gives us that sense of urgency to also make some changes. Okay. Now, based on that awareness from the previous question, how important is it for you to prioritize improving these 1 or 2 areas of your life on a scale of 1 to 5? We've had 3 people completed. I think we need a few more. Okay, so it looks like from the majority, there's a sense of urgency around this and they find it to be extremely important. Okay, so let's move on. That was really interesting to see a breakdown of everyone's insights from that exercise. Now, I'd like you to go into breakout rooms. Can you see the PowerPoint? Yes? Okay. And when you're in these breakout rooms, Mariana is going to be putting you in pairs of 2. And I'd like you to focus on these questions. Which one area would I like to improve most? Okay, now we set ourselves up for success when we focus on 1 or 2 areas at a time. And for the purpose of time today, I want you guys to focus on 1 area and then discuss what has been getting in the way. Okay, what obstacles have there been that have prevented you from making this change? And then unpack a little bit more. How is it negatively affecting me? And why is it important to make a change? Okay, it's really important for us to connect to our why, because when we do that, it almost fuels us to move forward and take courageous action. So you guys will be working in 2s. You'll have 10 minutes. Okay, so 5 minutes each way. So just pay attention to time. You should have a timer at the top. And Mariana, I think you're going to also tell them when they need to switch. But if not, just keep an eye on time so you get the most out of the exercise. And again, when the other person is talking, be really present with them. And what we like to call in coaching, actively listen to what they're saying. Hold a safe space for them to fully open up and even be vulnerable if needed. Okay, so have fun and off you go. I'll see you in a few minutes. Oh, one other thing, you might want to just copy and paste these questions or take a screenshot before you leave. Or Mariana, is it possible for you to share the questions in the groups by copy and paste it?
Yes, if you copy paste it into the
yes, if you could
chat,
please
into the normal chat, then I will copy paste it.
Okay.
Please, everyone go into your rooms. Hello, Lourdes. I can send you into a breakout group. We're just starting with the breakout groups discussions. If you want, I can't hear you, you're muted.
Sorry, I just came from Barcelona and I just connected now. So if people are already in working groups, what I can do, I can wait for that. So I don't interrupt the group, you know?
Okay. It's 10 minutes, more or less. Because
That's okay.
it's 5 minutes one person, 5 minutes the other person. And then we will come back to plenary.
Perfect, perfect. So then I standing online. Don't worry at all.
Okay, thank you.
So you can be also in your group because probably you are working with somebody else.
No, actually, oh no, I'm not. Actually, we could do it together because I have to manage the time. Yes.
This is together.
We can do
Yeah,
it together. Basically, Shanta showed us the wheel of life. I can show you mine.
Yes, I know it well. Yes, yes, I use it a lot as well in my sessions.
Okay, so here you can see mine. Basically, she gave us, she told us to put from 0 to 10 rating.
Yeah.
And the areas are family and friends, Andrea and Marilena, fun and recreation, health, money, personal growth, physical environment, and career.
Yeah.
And then she asked us to choose 2 main areas that we want to improve or to focus on this year. And for me,
Perfect.
the ones that have sort of lower ranking, lower grades are health and personal growth. Because
Beautiful.
I need to find a balance, because I have signed up for a professional certification for which I need for my job. But also the aspect of health is extremely important for me, because I need to make sure that I work out, that I find my harmony, for my mental health and my physical health. And so I really want to focus on not letting go to do every day something for my health.
Excellent.
And I haven't been so good on that. So this is something. And for the personal growth, I have to find 360 hours from now until November, because the exam will be in December. So I have to somehow work on my time schedule to find the time to study. And
Yeah.
so that's not easy.
And you are mom of 2 or 3 kids? No, you 3 kids, right? You have.
Yes, mom of 3 kids and wife, and my husband also needs me to be with him at events and things, and
Of course,
so
of
I have
course.
to I will have to cut down, and I have already said that I will cut down on the women's informal network. So this session today, I am not chairing it. Someone else is chairing it.
Okay.
Nuha, she is going to facilitate this series of events. And
Right. Because it takes a lot of time as well, to have organizing all the emails, sending the information,
Yes.
responding to the people that are, no,
Everyone.
you do a lot.
And
a
you
lot.
know what happened? I sent out the invitation on Thursday, and because I sent it to more than 500 people, security blocked my email account because they thought it was spamming. Until today, this afternoon today, I was blocked. I could not send out emails. It was luckily I was on holiday, so it wasn't, like dramatic, but it was very annoying.
Of course, yeah, and very stressful as well.
Yes, absolutely. And also I have to find a new way of dealing with the invitations, because everyone, I will not be able to send out invitations to 700 people like I used to do.
No, you have an option that is called MailChimp. Okay, it's an application that is for free. I can tell you over WhatsApp. I can send it to you over WhatsApp and have a look into it, because it's something that I will start also doing soon as well, because of the same reason. It's it can be a good option, and it's for free,
Ah, very good. Ok.
Dopo ti mando un messaggio al WhatsApp, te lo scrivo. Ok.
Perfetto.
Ok.
Adesso devo mandare, aspetta un secondo soltanto, che devo mandare un messaggio a tutti. Please, everyone, now switch to the other person. Devo vedere se l'hanno ricevuto, un secondo.
Sì, tranquilla, vai, non ti
Faccio
preoccupare.
ripartire, vado e torno, vado in un gruppo e chiedo.
Bene, tranquilla. Sì, aspetta che metto più luce qua.
So, which area is it that you would like to focus on, Lourdes?
for me this year, I want to focus. Well, I do every year, you know, when the year ends, and I do a closure, emotional closure, spiritual closure, and also practical closure, and then I plan for the next year. You know, this year I want to improve in personal relationships, in terms of with my fiance, maybe ex-fiance. That's why.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully not, but you know, it's something that yeah, I'm actually realizing where I fail. Healthy boundaries is always a big deal, you know. So it's gonna be, this year is the year that I have to learn to put healthy boundaries when it's needed, because then you give permission to others to also grow. Otherwise, you know, it's not healthy either for them. Although you are very loving and compassionate and all this, you know. So that is one aspect. And then this year, although I must say I'm very happy with my health, this year I told to myself, I want to achieve a physical condition that I feel I'm the fittest, strongest, and more flexible that I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, I
Because
totally can relate to that.
yeah, and it's not a matter of, oh, it looks good, because as I said, I'm happy with my body. It's a matter of mental strength, you know, like to know that your body can do a bit better. So it's not that I'm going to kill myself or I'm going to develop muscles or whatever. No, but I want, because luckily my health is good in terms of like disease and all this. I'm disease free, but you know, that level of, okay, I want more muscular tone, to feel stronger, you know, to that kind of thing, you know. So these are two of the things I want to achieve during this year.
Okay. And what, wait a second, we had the questions that we were supposed to respond.
And this is, you know, Marilena,
what has been getting in the way? What has been getting in the way for you?
Me.
Yeah.
It's always us.
And
It's
how
always
is it
us.
negatively affecting you? And why is it important to make a change? Well.
Okay, so what has been negatively impacting me? Definitely, there are two things. You know, our limiting mental beliefs that are coming to the surface, which is a very good thing, because then you get to know, oh, really? I still have that belief there, although I had worked on it. Okay, time to work deeper, because that means some percentage, even if earlier was 100 and now it's 30%, but that 30% is still there. So that is one thing, you know. And
we will have a session on limiting beliefs at the end of March with Coach Kate Jones.
Nice, because, you know, maybe she works it on another way different to mine. So it's always very nice to hear these different perspectives, you know. And then something else that is, because it's at the end of the day, it's always us, although we think it's the outer world, is us, you know. And the other one is what I mentioned about the trying to be always the good girl.
Yes.
And by trying to be the good girl, then you harm yourself. So that's what now I really want to start improving. That I did a lot in comparison to what I was earlier. I did a lot, but I know I have to do a bit more, just a bit more.
Okay, very good. Hello, welcome back, Bridget and Nadia.
Thank you.
I'm still trying to figure out how to have a timer that shows on Zoom in the breakout groups. But anyway, I have a timer here and I think it worked quite well. Shanta, I found an online timer that I have put on 5 minutes and then 5 minutes again.
Did they see it in the groups?
No, only me.
Okay.
But I was sending messages. Did you not receive the messages?
Yes, I saw. I saw. Hi, Lourdes.
Hi, Shanta.
Nice
Thank
to see you. I didn't see you. Did you join now?
Yeah, because I was traveling from Barcelona, and you know, we were driving and we got a bit delayed, and it's like, I'm missing it. And I just changed. Sorry, because I'm very casual, but I just changed and put it in comfy clothes to join you girls.
Great, wonderful. So happy you're here.
Yeah, me too.
So I think everyone's back, right?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Okay, wonderful. So I hope you guys got some nice insights and reflections from the breakout rooms. And, you know, as we are now transitioning from moving from the present moment and going to and working towards what we want for the future, which is what exactly coaching is about, I wanted to invite one of the women that I have the pleasure and honor of knowing and working with, Nadia Kazolides, to share her experience of applying this wheel of life and focusing on a particular area and how she has been able to kind of move from her present situation through creating a vision and taking those action steps. I also hope it serves as an inspiration for us as we then work on creating this vision of what's possible for us to create in our lives. So without further ado, Nadia, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a beautiful little segue. Thank you so much for bringing us all together as well. I think these coaching events are really just beautiful to kind of hear. The breakout room was such a wonderful experience and personal to get to hear someone else's story. So before meeting with Shanta and even knowing what the Wheel of Life was about, I felt very much in my head, and I felt ambitious and I felt very driven, and I thought, well, you know, what's happening? Why aren't I, you know, executing what I want? And it's because all the ambition was going to the organization of my thoughts. I had no strategy. And so the Wheel of Life for me was a way for me to kind of understand that I wasn't identifying. I didn't know what I was really doing. And so working with Shanta definitely gave me a strategy. Obviously, I had a big vision, but I just didn't think it would be possible to do it because I didn't know how to bring it down to very practical steps. And so working with Shanta really, really helped me understand that, okay, breaking up what it is that's going on in my head and really giving me the soundboard and giving me accountability, which was really important for me. Maybe that's a mindset coaching program that we can do a different time, but knowing that I'm, you know, reporting to somebody and telling them, okay, I've completed this work. And so, yeah, that's what I would have to say about the Wheel of Life and Shanta's approach with me.
Thank you, Nadia. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that a lot of people appreciate about coaching is to have that accountability partner. And it's not necessarily that we are like a teacher or a principal that's going to punish you, but especially if you're working more independently or it's an area of your life that you might deprioritize, it's really helpful for us to have somebody else that's walking that journey with us as well. So with that, I would like to take you ladies through a visualization, okay? This is another great tool that's used in coaching that can really help you to create a more successful and abundant life. And, you know, from more of a scientific point of view, it up-levels our brain function. So by integrating more of our right brain, which has to do with creativity and intuition and inner peace, with our left brain, which is more analytical and maybe focused on strategy building, which maybe a lot of us are using more in our work, okay? So before we do the visualization, I just want us to maybe take a moment to change our physiology, because right now we've been talking about the present moment, maybe something that we really want to improve and change. So it helps us to change our physiology because that leads us to alter our state of mind and break those patterns. Okay, so you might want to shake it out. You might want to sit up more straight. You might even want to stand up, or maybe you're inspired to move to a different part of the room with a different energy. I see Marilena's doing that. So let's raise our vibration for creating this ideal future in this particular area of our life. Oh my God, I love how enthusiastic everyone is right now. Look at you standing up, Bridget. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm just going to turn off my video so I'm not distracting you, but I'd like you to please close your eyes and kind of just get settled back in. Had a lot of different activity and discussion with the group, so just really tune in to your body and reconnect with your breath. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and exhale out. Just really connect with your body and that deep inner wisdom that lives inside of you. Now, I'd like you to focus on that one area of your life you would love to improve and what your ideal number is. Imagine yourself sitting in a cinema and watching a movie about this specific area of your life in the future. In this movie, you see this area of your life playing out exactly as you wish. Take a moment to really relish in the details of it. What's happening, the colors, the imagery. Now that you see yourself at this ideal number, what else are you noticing? Pay attention to what your energy is like. How are you standing? How are you moving? You can also see how this improvement is positively impacting other areas of your life. How do you feel? Take a moment to really embody those emotions right now in this present moment. And let them gradually fill you up, starting from your heart center and moving toward every inch of your body and radiating outward. Now, if you started making these changes to this particular area of your life, what would your life begin to look like 1 month from now? How about 3 months from now? A year from now? 5 years from now? Now there's a voice that is always has your best interests at heart. What is it whispering to you as the first step to start moving from your current number to your ideal number? Think about how this step also raises other areas of your life. Remember, you are the director of this movie. You alone have responsibility for this precious life and ownership of the decisions you make. How incredible is it to hold this power? When you're ready, just start to wriggle your fingers and your toes and gently open your eyes and come back. Okay, welcome back, ladies. So while we still have this vision of what we want fresh in our minds, I'd like us to go into breakout rooms again. And again, in pairs of two, with different people this time. So you also have an opportunity to connect with other ladies. And what I'd like you to do, and perhaps, this slide won't be visible in your group, so you can take a screenshot of it, or I'm also going to copy and paste the questions in the chat box if you want to copy it into a Word document so you have it. And so the first question is to just debrief, okay? And here I say bottom lining. And again, this is another coaching tool that we use. So what is really at the heart of this for you? What is the essence of it? 2-3 sentences of what your ideal situation looks like and how you would feel. Okay. Then one action that I can take this week to improve this area. I remember there were a lot of people who said that this is extremely important for them to change. So let's start putting these changes in place to work towards improving it. And then the last thing is, what kind of support do I need to help me progress in this area? So it can be anything from an accountability buddy, maybe the person you're with in the breakout room, some kind of plan like a calendar reminder, or perhaps hiring a professional who has some expertise in the area that you need help with. Okay, so again, 10 minutes in total, 5 minutes for each person. And I encourage you to really embody the emotions of that this vision would create for you, because there's so much power to us connecting to that. It creates movement, it creates energy, and raises our vibration so we can take action. So Marilena, you can please send everybody off, keep an eye on time, and enjoy.
So I did the exercise on my own, which means I had 10 minutes to think about every aspect.
Oh, wow. So you have a lot. That's good. Right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I see some smiles on the faces. I think everyone's feeling excited about what the future holds. And, as we are moving through the kind of process we go with coaching. Oh, I'm blurry. Hello. Okay, I'm just going to keep talking. It's one thing to have that awareness and create that vision, and really taking it to the last step is identifying the action and putting the things in place so that we take those steps. Okay, so what I'd like to invite everybody to do is to share which action they are going to take in the next week. And again, this can serve as a way of us holding each other accountable as a group. It's also a way for us to acknowledge and celebrate together the changes that we want to make to improve a certain area of our life. And I just want to also one thing for you to keep in mind is, try and make the action quite specific. So it could be that, I'm going to start exercising. Okay, what type of exercise are you going to do? How often are you going to do it in a week? Okay, 3 times a week. What times are you going to be doing it? Really break it down. There's a power in specificity because it doesn't leave any elements in the unknown, and it allows us to really focus and execute. So there's not too many of us. So if you want to just take yourselves off mute, you're welcome to do that. Or if you want to just share it in the chat box. One last thing I want to point out is by sharing what actions we would like to take, it also gives the opportunity for the group to see how can they support us, because that's really what this group of women is for. So maybe somebody has a contact, or maybe they can introduce you to somebody, or maybe they want to walk that journey with you, or start going to tennis with you, or whatever it is. So please go ahead and share. Nadia,
Okay,
I see you're off
I'll
mute.
share. Sure. Yeah. I will. So I'm a single mother, and I've been separated from my daughter's father for a while, and recently I felt like I'm ready to date, and so I love my action. It's to go on a date. So that's what I will do, and I will be intentional, and I will be I'll ask a lot of questions as opposed to fantasizing in my head and thinking, oh, it's going so well and everything. Like, actually get to know the guy before you marry him.
Love it. Thank you, Nadia, for sharing such an intimate part of your life with the group. Thank you. Who else? Let's go. You can also, share, your thoughts as you celebrate with this person in the chat box, or you can use emojis, however you want to celebrate or acknowledge them. Helen.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Nadia, and all for sharing. For me, it's an easiest task, I think, than starting a new date and having to ask all the difficult questions, including, do you know how to wash dishes and things like that? So for me, with my husband, it was about cooking, and the answer was yes, and I said, okay, I marry you. And I did, and it was fun. No, but think about trying new things, new hobbies, and what I'm trying to do is to find what will make me feel fulfilled and feel joyful and feel happy, but for myself, and not trying to meet the expectation of others, but my own expectation when finding that. And it will start by starting, I don't know, I just have seen that here in Rabat there will be training organized on tango. So maybe I will try to take some tango classes and see how it works, and maybe I will, become a tango dancer and inviting you to my next show.
Thank you, Helen. Love it. Who else would like to, however big or small, you're welcome to share. Or I see Marianne says, I will contact a group of friends next week to decide on a country where we can meet to spend time together for 1 week beginning of next year. Very specific. Love it. And also, if you guys have an ask for the group, if you want to ask them, like, I need this support based on what my ideal situation looks like, you're welcome to also do that. That's what this space is for.
So if I may,
Please.
the area that I need to improve is health for me. And so my action will be that I will take the bike to work every time I go. No excuses, because earlier I was talking with Lourdes and you had asked us, Shanta, what's standing in the way? And Lourdes said about herself, but it's also for me. I am standing in the way because I am finding excuses for not doing certain things that I know I should be doing that are good for me and that make me feel good. So no excuses. I will take the bike.
Love those insights. And also just holding yourself accountable. Okay,
So
wow.
Marilena, you need to send us time you don't go biking, yeah? You will keep you accountable.
I'll send you pictures of me on the bike with the Forum Romanum and with Efeo. And
Okay, I'll share next. I mean, I am lacking in the area of fun and recreation. So in the what is it, the breakup group, so we just I commit myself to take the train this weekend and visit one of these lakes around Rome. Whether with a friend, I would love with a friend, but then otherwise I'll just do it by myself. So I try to exploring this lovely country.
Beautiful. And thank you for everybody sharing your actions in the chat box. So we feel that we're in this journey together in the course of this week. We're going to be advancing and moving together and thinking of each other as we start to create and improve our lives. And, I was sharing with Aisha when we were in the breakout rooms that, it's like a rocket that has to take off. It's really the initial push that's super difficult, but once you take off, you soar. So like really exert that effort in the beginning and it will definitely pay off. Also think about how it will impact positively other areas of your life. Okay. So just to start wrapping up, you can go back to this wheel at any point of your life. Now you know how this tool is. You can use it. Some people use it weekly to make sure they're progressing, others monthly, quarterly. So make sure that you take some time to reflect a bit further on the other areas of your life, because today, for the sake of time, we were only able to dig in to one particular area. And if you'd like to explore this area that we discussed today or other pieces of your life that you want to improve and you need some support to reach a certain level, you're welcome to get in touch with me. I'd also love to connect with you via LinkedIn. So I'm just going to pop my details over here. And if you do want to chat, you can book a time with me using the link below. One last thing that I want to share around, the wheel of life is that as we start to reach levels of, let's say, more fulfillment and abundance and satisfaction and contentment, it almost expands our vision for what is possible. So it's like we're on this continuous journey of growth and progression. So it's not about I know it's cliche, but it's so true. It's not about, the milestone. It's about the journey, and really enjoy it. And with that, I'm going to close. Thank you so much, Win, for hosting me today. It's been lovely to be with you all. And Nuha, over to you.
Thank you so much, Shanta, for this really inspiring session. For me, it is another eye opener. I actually love that we're all connected, and being talking to each other, you feel connected, and when I'm not alone. This is one of the things that I love when I'm in any of the Win's webinar or workshop, and it's good to have this sense of unity and connection. And for me, what I take from this actual session, that balance is not an exact thing, right? There's no measurement for it. I think we can create the balance for our lives by dedicating time for ourselves. And I love what Helena has said, that sometimes you have to do the fulfillment, not for others, not for the expectation of others, but for your own self. So I think we can all take a pledge to improve whatever areas in my life. I never thought that my wheel would be bumpy, but it is not that great. It doesn't look great at all. But I will take steps and actions to fix it. And I thank every one of you for joining. And I want you to stay tuned, because next month we will have another session with a different coach, Mrs. Kate Jones, and we will be hopefully talking about self-limiting belief, the saboteurs, and how we can overcome them. So stay tuned, and I look forward to seeing you in March. Have a lovely evening.
Bye-bye, everyone. It was nice seeing you and being with you. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ciao,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you.